Once again, it's on. I'm back with another episode of The Sit Down. I'm your boy, Tall Shon, and just like all sit downs, I like to get with just great people doing great things, whether it's in music, in the community, politics, anything entertainment, anything fun, anything just people doing dope stuff. And today is nothing different. I have a great friend of mine. We have John Verdejo.
Man.
Appreciate you, my brother.
It's all mine, man. Thanks for the time.
Appreciate you, man. He's heavy in politics, and this is someone I actually talk to a lot about politics, especially online. We go back and forth about stuff, and I agree a lot of stuff that he does. And if you remember from my previous podcast, we had a dope sit down, dope sit down on politics. And I think I even shocked him that I know as much as I do about politics. I do follow.
Thanks. Appreciate that, man. I see a whole lot of crazy stuff online, man. I just hope it, like spaghetti, sticks on the wall. You know what I mean?
No doubt. You're part of the North Carolina Democratic National Committee.
Yeah. No, I'm a member of the Democratic National Committee. Also treasurer of the DNC Southern Caucus.
Nice.
Beyond that, heavily involved in local politics, especially here in Wake County, where where I reside and work at. The North Carolina Democratic Party, just basically helping candidates and Democrats. I got my hand in many pots, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
My question, man, we're gonna get right to it. As y'all know, I don't really do a lot of cliche-based questions, but my question is this: I'm independent,
right?
And I used to be a Democrat. I've worked for Democratic committee in Florida. Then I changed and went independent.
In Florida.
Yeah, when I was in Florida, and then even in Florida, I changed.
I heard Florida politics can do that.
Yeah. It was shenanigans. And it's sad though. Back in the day, I even worked on a Mitt Romney campaign.
Say word.
And I didn't tell you this when we first sat down. I did tell you that I did vote for him in the primaries, but I didn't tell you I worked for him. I did work for him. Being an independent, I at that time, I felt like how everyone felt when Trump in the office.
Okay, right on.
Somebody that's not super political.
Gotcha.
At that time, I believed in Barack, but I didn't all the way believe in him when he ran the first time. During the primary.
First time. Okay, in the primary. Gotcha.
So during the primary aspect of it. So I was looking like, I'm gonna go Mitt because I wanted like a business. I'm a businessman, so I was looking at businessmen. Someone there, I might not I don't agree with totally nothing on either side, but he had more values and views at that time that I believed in. So I voted for him during the primaries. Now during the main election, I didn't, because it seemed like his views during the primaries changed 360.
Because he was running now, he's running a general election where he has to more or less appease everyone across section.
Which I understand that, but it was like everything that you were about here, I felt like you just threw it away. And this man over here kept running the same campaign. He just intensified it. And I was more of a believer on that aspect. It wasn't a black-white thing. It was more of a, bro, what you gonna do for us type thing.
Respect that.
The people. Right. So then turn around, we got dude, and he was running against, we have Trump running against Hillary, and I was like, what are the Democrats doing? Yeah. And the reason why I said what are the Democrats wasn't the fact that it was a woman
even though she did, and it stated she did win the popular vote by 3 or 4 million.
Yeah, she did. It did. She did. But we all know, we both know
it is
that the popular vote means a lot.
Yeah.
But
it's the electoral college.
It's the electoral college.
It matters. Yeah.
And if you can't get the people that runs the electoral college, it's a whole different aspect. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
you can't get them to believe, and you were at.
I was there, man.
Right,
I was there, man. I was, one of the ones, beating my fist at the screen at the election night party.
Right.
Like, oh man, this is where, what have we done?
See, I think the fall was this. She thought she had certain demographics in the bag that she didn't have in the bag. Yeah. And I felt that way during the whole election. I felt it was a lot of pandering going on. And there was a lot of stuff that happened in the first election that shouldn't have happened. And your focus was wavered because you didn't go to certain key places because you thought, oh, I got that in the bag.
She got comfortable.
Yeah. That's what happens when you get comfortable. That's anything in life.
Yeah,
we get comfortable at home, you find yourself divorced.
Yeah. There's many men I know who got what happened. Bro, I just got comfortable.
Right. And then plus, I'm tired of Clintons. That's me personally. And sorry, there's a lot of people who think that way.
Yeah. I remember when she first ran, it was tongue in cheek. Mm-hmm. But I wrote something to the effect of I never thought that my kid would actually see another Clinton in his lifetime. Because I remember, I grew up, I grew up in the 90s, stuff like that.
As well as I.
Right? And it was Clinton, I grew up in the Clinton years. Mm-hmm. Fast forward, Clinton in 08.
Yep.
And then Clinton in 2016. Mm-hmm. And at that, it was something like that. By far, Barnum, and this is not even talking on some looking back 2020 hindsight. On paper, record, everything. By far the best candidate we could have had.
Think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Best candidate we had, and if she was president,
I think Bernie
it would have been day and night.
Right. I think Bernie was too fake progressive.
I think the problem with Bernie, and this is something, I think the problem with Bernie is not so much, at the end of the day, it's not that some people may have a problem with Bernie, although there are some who will no matter what. But I think if you really talk to folks, I think the problem with Bernie is not so much with Bernie, but it's the people that follow him. Mm-hmm. He has like a cult-like following that it's borderline bothersome, aggressive.
Yeah, right.
That, okay, let's take 2016 for, all right, great, your candidate lost. Let's go ahead, unite, and go against, now that we have Trump on the horizon, let's go ahead against that. There are some, listen, I went in as a Bernie delegate to the convention. As soon as it was official that Clinton had won the presidency, Bernie, thank you, but no, to the side, now my focus on Clinton. And many of us had wished that some would have done the same. Right.
Because the sad part is the same thing happened to Hillary in the actual election primary happened to her and Bernie. Yeah. Bernie won the popular, but he lost out of the major people, the major players in the voting aspect.
Yeah,
he won the popular.
And there was there's some key constituency in a party itself that you must win over. People of color, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's great from an economic standpoint. I mean, spot on. I mean, he had that down packed. I mean, he can, he was saying that in his sleep.
Sweet, right? Facts.
But how many? There are plenty of examples. There are plenty of examples where no matter how rich you are, what kind of car you drive, what part of town you live in, at the end of the day, you're still gonna catch hell from a regular Joe Schmo with his pants hanging from his
his butt
and stuff like that.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Money gonna get you but so far. The only difference is you probably have a better lawyer than my man over here.
I agree. I agree.
So there was some things that he could have touched on that he never really.
But see, I think what Hillary didn't do was he pandered more to the everyday person. So that's why the everyday person or the demographic that she didn't really hit as hard went towards Bernie because he was with Killer Mikes. He was with certain people within Black culture and Spanish culture that was like, oh shit.
Right. But that was more for the younger demographic.
Right. He was with the youth.
That was with the youth. Mm-hmm. But at least I don't know how 2020 may turn out, and it may be a little bit of increase. But at least at that time, he had won the youth vote. Hands down.
I'm gonna keep it a band though. I don't want him to go again. I don't want him to
run. No. As much as I like Bernie, I appreciate some of the ideas that now many of the 2020 candidates have adopted and taken and ran with. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's influenced the party in many ways,
I agree.
Like it or not. Mm-hmm. But I have to agree that from a party unity standpoint, from just a sanity standpoint,
right?
Again, It's a victim of your own celebrity. It's not so much that at the end of the day we don't like you, Bernie.
Right.
It's the people that follow you.
Right.
The online attacks, the the aggressiveness, just the pure irritation from some of them, especially for some of us who work in a party, who breathe this, who we sleep with this every day.
Right.
We got to deal with that.
Right, you're right. You guys do. You guys definitely do. Because you guys actually play a major part in that and making sure, one, you try to hold the balance of both. Now, I think Bernie probably would have beat Trump.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Once I knew it was going to be Hillary, I said, everyone thinking that she's going to win. I was one of the people that went on record and saying she's not going to win this. I even said it online.
You should have put money on that.
I know.
You should have put money on that. Yeah.
I think I put it online, and you even told me. He was like, "Man, don't say that."
Don't speak that to existence, man. Nah.
Because I saw what he was doing. He, as much as I do not agree with this man, he ran a masterful election.
Yeah, no, he did.
He ran it. He hit his base. And he ran with his base. You know what I'm saying? He definitely did. Even though I feel like Trump is not even a Republican. He might be playing the Republican games. And I don't think he is. I think he went with that party because he knew they had a lot of infighting. They had a lot of infrastructure issues. So he ran with that party knowing that this would be like you just said, an easier route for me. I could go over here, I could run with this party, and I could showcase. We could go back, and I can't think of the date frame, but I think it was back in the 90s when he said, he used to give money to Hillary's party.
He was.
And he said.
To Schumer, all those top guys. Yeah.
And he said, he was a Democrat versus Democrat for years.
Yeah.
He said, if I ever would run for president, I would run Republican.
Yeah.
He called everything that he's doing now. Now, do I think he bit off more than he could chew? I don't think he thought he was going to win.
He even admits that. I remember reading an article months after he got in, to where he's looking at the numbers, and he admitted that I didn't think I would win. In so many words. I don't know. He thought straight up and down, like, yo, I didn't think I was just more or less just talking.
Right.
I'm really. This really happened.
Right, it really happened.
Yeah.
And I think for him it was like,
and
wow.
It shows.
It definitely shows.
And it showed in his transition team.
Definitely.
And when he, his first couple of months in the White House.
Right.
Because they were wholly unprepared for what did happen. Him winning, the presidency.
Yeah, you could tell because he fired more people than I've ever seen any job do. He's fired. And
there were many
many
posts left vacant months after he was sworn in.
Yep.
Because they were totally unprepared. They didn't think this was going to happen.
Right. And that's the weird part. So we fast forward to now. We got the looming 2020 election coming. You know what I mean? When we got everybody under the sun on the Democratic Party running.
Are you running?
Nah.
Are you running, man? Might as well.
I might as well. The way things are shaking up, I might as well. Shoot, I might as well go and cast my vote.
Yeah, might as well what everybody else is.
Because this is what 400 or something people submitted applications.
Yeah.
To run. I think it was 464. I think.
Yeah, I saw some on Thursday. It was 400. Of course, people are just putting out this.
Yeah, they're just putting it out there
on a piece of paper. But yeah.
Now I'm gonna just. I have 22 people, and I'm not reading all 22. I'm just I have 22. But I'm gonna read out some of the top ones. So we have, and I don't know, it's I think Elizabeth Warner. She's on Democrat, right?
Yeah.
So you got Elizabeth Warner. Just read out like the top 5. Hillary Clinton.
Now she has yet to officially put her name on there.
Right.
A couple of her folks, who are close, who are close to her in her orbit, have said no, she's not going to run. However, those on the outside who Hillary, ride or die, there every once in a while will post something out there like.
Said she may.
Yeah, so
well,
she's
these are possible people that may run.
Elizabeth Warren for sure.
Sure, I know she is.
Yeah.
I remember her saying something. So we have Hillary, then we have Kamala Harris. Mm-hmm. We have Bernie Sanders.
Has yet to.
But we know how Bernie runs.
Yeah.
So let's see here, and then we have Eric Sewell. Sewell, whatever, California congressman.
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh wow. See, yes.
See,
So
and
many.
then, I'll read a couple more. We have Beto O'Rourke.
Beto O'Rourke.
Beto, yeah.
Beto, he has
yeah.
yet to officially
Yeah.
stand in front of the podium and say, I'm doing it.
Texas congressman. I'm sorry, I want the one from Texas. We got good old Joe Biden.
His name's always in it.
He always. It's been in it for years. If you think about it, Joe Biden has been around for a very long time, man.
Yeah.
Very long time. We have Christine Gillibrand.
Gillibrand. Yeah, she's
Yep.
already in that saying.
Yep.
Working her way in the Iowa caucuses and whatnot.
Okay, so she's going through the Iowa caucus.
Oh yeah, she's you know
So
she's
she's
in
not,
the mix. She's in the
because
mix.
right now she's a New York senator. So
Yeah, no, she's still senator, but she's still she's in the mix. Trying
Okay.
to get those supporters out there.
Understandable. I don't believe this. I think this might be a front. They said Oprah win.
Come on, dog.
Like, come on.
Nah,
Oprah, chill out.
no.
What's up? Michael Bloomberg, I'm good.
Yeah, he's officially.
He did for real.
Yeah, no, he's in it here now. So he's in it.
And I'm stop here. Eric Holder.
I haven't heard nothing from
I haven't
him.
heard it either.
Actually, he's been quiet.
He's very
He's
quiet.
been quiet. I don't know if he's going to do it at this
He
time.
may though. I know Cory Booker. Didn't Cory Booker announce that he would?
What's today? Yeah,
Yeah, I think he did.
on February the 1st.
Yeah.
Couple days.
So we have those people, man. So out of that 12, I just gave you. You see any potential out of that 12? Let's take out the people that I'm just not. I'm Oprah. No.
Yeah.
I'm Bernie is so up in the air, man. And Joe Biden. I think Joe will just cut.
On the strength, he will.
I think he will just cut.
I think in the situation with Joe Biden, I think he's still regretful that the way things have played out, that he wished that he had involved himself in the primary.
He didn't, and I wish he would have too. Talking about during the election race.
Yeah. During the primary of 2016. Hindsight's 2020, as they say.
Even if he would have really endorsed someone, or if he would have just really endorsed someone, or really went out on a campaign trail for someone, I would have loved to see that. But I understand, you just spent 8 years beside the president. Both of them said, man, I'm taking a break.
Right.
They disappeared.
Right.
Obama got out of here.
Now, Obama.
He out of here. He was out here Bernie Madoff chilling.
Yeah, no sooner than he leave the White House and the chopper landed on the ground. 2 days later, saw him on a jet ski.
Yo,
smiling from ear to ear.
He was like, I'm done. Okay, this is what y'all want to do. Have
Yeah, I'm done, man.
You know what I mean? I couldn't be mad. I couldn't be mad at him.
I blame, bro.
Like, who you think, man, in your party that you think has a clear chance,
legitimate
chance of making it to actually run in an actual election?
I'm only gonna talk about the people who have actually officially, stood in front of a podium, CNBC,
right?
Crowd behind them, made it official that I'm running for president. I got my list. I think the ones who really have a shot is Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Castro, got his first name. Castro.
Yeah, I think I know. So yeah, I know.
If Biden ever decides to jump in, he's going to change the game, and of course, Bernie Sanders. Look out for, and these are my dark horses.
John Kerry ain't running again, is he?
Who's this?
John Kerry.
No.
Okay.
I have not even heard rumors that he is.
Oh, that's good.
But what I was gonna say is, look out dark horses.
So Julian Castro.
Julian Castro, very, very, very good guy. He was a secretary under Barack Obama. He was in the cabinet. But look for dark horses. Look out for Pete's. I always mess his name up. Pete Buttigieg. Mayor Pete.
Yeah,
that video that he put out, his rollout video was great.
Right.
Perfect. I mean, he basically touched on some of the things that I think a certain part of America actually feels, that hope, unity, rainbow, and kumbaya is great.
Right.
But we're not at that point.
No, we're not. And that's what we need. We need someone that's going to be realistic. Let's be honest where we currently at.
Yeah.
How the economy is currently running.
Yeah.
And let's attack that. Let's not give us since if we get him out of here, I'm going to make make this. Oh, I heard someone say they're gonna do something for students. Oh, there's a whole bunch of shenanigans. Like, let's stop it, yo.
I mean, I think for the most part, I think, in looking at all those candidates, they more or less believe all in the same thing. Some variation of Medicare for all, education, healthcare. The infrastructure, the whole thing.
That's a lot. That's a lot you can't fix in 8 years.
And there's a lot you can't do as president. It all depends on who you got, in Congress to help you push those things through. What I was gonna say, as far as Zone Curtis go, going back to Pete Buttigieg, again, these are not endorsements. I've yet to make a decision who I'm backing.
Okay.
I have my top favorites, but there are, I'm still on the fence or even on those.
I want to wait till the dust settles.
Yeah.
So before I even say, I jump out there and decide I'm gonna do something.
Yeah. Pete Buttigieg, Sherrod Brown, a congressperson from Ohio. I think those are the folks. Elizabeth Warren, I think is someone you definitely gotta look at, and Christian Gillibrand. That's it. That's it as of right now. And if Beto ever gets his act together, perhaps, but that train is leaving.
It really is.
That shine that he had on him, coming this close to being Ted Cruz is slowly wearing away.
Because, man, I think people are starting to realize, man, like in the politic game, I think even for myself, there's a level of realism and a level of bullshit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think with Beto, he was giving a lot of bullshit. I need a little more realism. Yes, for me, this is me outside looking in certain circles that I'm in of mixed Democrat, Republican, and Independent. You know what I'm saying? Like
bullshit. Like bullshit, what you mean? Like you mean? I think I know what you mean.
Right. I think also with some of the things that he's brought up, some of the things he said, some of the things you see in action with him. And I had notes for him, and I didn't even think you would even talk about, dude. I wish I'd have brought those notes because I did want to talk about, dude. But I had my eyes set on another person.
I think the
I'm trying to think. You got me thinking about
the charm with Beto was that he was one of the first, at least when he was running against Ted Cruz at the time. Right. Almost with no hesitation, a question was asked of how you feel about the NFL and the stance with the flag and stuff like that. And boom, 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 boom. He hit every point to where that right there, and there was an online video of it, to where people was like, wow, here's a white guy, used to play guitar in his spare time, skateboards. And he's kicking real true facts. Like he's basically putting a mirror to America saying, this is what people of color is really going through. So that kind of what I'm
tired. That's one of my issues that I'm tired of too, man. I'm tired. Like, yo, I'm cool. I'm a black man. Yeah. You gotta pander to us like that. Right. You really don't, to be honest with you. You really don't. And if that reigns supreme, I know a lot of black people voted for Obama because he was black, but there was a lot of us that also wanted to see his viewership. It's a lot of us, including myself, who at first, during the primary, reason why I wasn't so keen on him, because I didn't want to see another puppet. I didn't want to see a black man being the first puppet for, I hate to say, white America feuds. You know what I'm saying? So when he did run, and then I started watching the follow-ship, I started seeing how he's moving, what he's saying, his actions with his words. Then I started, and then I started checking out what he did as a senator and stuff like that. Really diving in more into the person. I was like, all right. But I see what this man was doing behind the scenes.
Yeah, in his first term, I would almost agree with you, but I kind of, just me being in this, he was looking towards certain things. He was looking towards being reelected. Right. Midway through his first term, Congress has totally flipped to where both houses were now Republican. Right. So he had to play a delicate balancing act. If you look at his second term, for lack of a better word, I kind of feel that he just went balls to the wall. So you know what?
I do agree. On the second term as well.
You know what? A second term, I'm in this. You can't kick me out unless I do some major offensive. Right. I'm here. Right. You know what I mean? I was waiting for him to grow the goatee at any moment.
No, I agree. Second term, I felt like we got the real him
Yeah.
more than we did the
Yeah,
first
he got
time.
real
I understand the
comfortable.
first time.
He got real good.
And that's
It's
my
like,
thing.
yeah.
With the first go around, you gotta play the fence, right? Second go around, even during his election, it was more realism. It was more
And-
this, and people was like, all right,
And that's why folks like me will always preach, winning the presidency is good, winning Congress is better.
I agree.
Because
Because they don't want to dictate more.
Because just imagine if midway through his second term, Obama would have had a more reasonable, a more agreeable Congress.
That dude fought.
Or the leaps and bounds we would have.
He fought them last 4 years hard to just get one thing passed.
Right.
One thing. At
They would
every
do-
turn they fought.
They
him.
blocked his Supreme Court nominee straight up and down to where now we got Kavanaugh. I forget the other guy
Yeah, I know.
before Kavanaugh, and that was due to the Republicans blocking his nominees.
Yeah.
Like on some, you know what? We're not gonna even touch
No,
it.
no matter
until-
what you say
until
or do.
until you are out of office.
Mm-hmm. No matter what you say or do, we block
Yeah.
it. Now, fast forward to now, we have Democrats have a more edging lead in the Senate now, right? Senate? Oh no, it's in Congress.
In the House.
In the House.
Yeah.
So, what are they gonna do now? What are the plans?
Well, I think the plans right now is going
Because
to.
to me, it still look like old boy doing whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Well, I think right now, I mean, keep in mind that the Senate is still under Republican control.
Right.
And Trump can veto anything
Exactly.
that comes his way. I think right now the Democrats are looking to do is put the Republicans on notice with bills and policy and proposals that's going to make them look bad.
Right.
I mean, how the hell can you disagree with something like infrastructure? That's not even political. That's on some, that's on some real life. I need that bridge to.
Right.
I need that bridge to be standing so I can get to work.
Right.
You know what I
right,
mean? This
right,
got nothing to do with Republican. It's real life.
Yeah, but we notice that everything he's
Healthcare,
put out.
education, things like that. Just
Right.
some of the things that, no matter Republican, Democrat, Independent, that those are some of the things that for the most part people.
It's basic needs. of
Social
life.
Security, basic
Right.
needs.
Right.
Just say, you know what? We're gonna write this up. We're gonna give it to the Republican Senate. What you gonna do with it? Are you really gonna veto this? Are you really gonna turn this down?
Right. The way they act, it make you think they are because it seems like everything. If it don't attach that wall to it, they don't. And I don't think people realize it. That wall can't happen.
Nah, man. No.
Like, yes, he already got money for the wall. They
Right.
gave him money earlier for the wall, and
Right.
you want more
Right.
because you realize that can't really happen. You know what I mean? It doesn't like. I understand border security. I'm with that. I understand it. Border security. I'm here for it. I feel you. But we know people don't just come from Mexico.
Most of the people.
Most of them come in the air.
Right. Most of the people are coming from the ports.
All
the
your port
airports.
cities.
All the ports.
So ports, period. Right.
Nobody's coming across the border anymore, man.
No.
Nobody. I mean, I hate to say it, but things ain't all that great here. It's to the point now that some of them actually going back because they're catching hell.
See?
You know what I mean?
So my thing is this, like, I go back to the presidency, the candidates. We need someone that can totally break that down and show, like, this wall really can't happen, guys, because of these reasons. These are the reasons. Let's be realistic. Don't just say because, we have the Congress, or Congress is going to fight the Senate, and this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
Or, no, let's break it down price-wise, infrastructure-wise. How much is going to hit taxpayers? You just can't do it.
And from a visual standpoint,
You just can't do it.
If you're at the border, you do realize 2,000 miles is a long way.
Yes.
So if you're looking at the border, you're looking down, all you're seeing is wall galore.
And then you're gonna take people home.
From an environmental standpoint, I mean, animals come to and back across the border from a migratory standpoint.
Right.
So you're killing them off. Man, it's just bad. I just think, at this point, maybe just my personality and the way I grew up and just the way I view things, I get that. But I think when 2020 comes around, it's going to have to be, gloves off, in the famous word of Mayor Ed Koch, may he rest in peace, you punch me, I'll punch you back.
Right.
But I don't believe in being inconvenienced. I think, we've heard hope and unity and unicorns and rainbows. But we are really going to need a Democrat to also take the unity aspect with this. You know what? I'm just going to punch you back.
Right.
Because, like in real life, you can apologize all you want, you can pray all you want, but sometimes it just comes down to, punching the bag. And I think we are really going to need someone to really put the mirror up to America and say, this is how far we've gone. The issues affecting black people, Latinos, the LGBTQ community, rich, poor, and even poor white America, no matter what, even though some of them hate our guts, it's because some of them have been put in a bad place. And Trump, being the master loudmouth that he is, having to tap into a fear, into a insecurity that he was able to run away with and ended up being president.
Right.
Okay? There are some that hate our guts no matter what. But there are some who voted for Trump that now got buyer's remorse that,
it's a lot of them get
it's
buyer's remorse,
a lot of remorse.
especially with this that shutdown.
Exactly.
Right now we temporarily back open, but
Yeah.
that shutdown affected a lot of people, and the problem is, which I don't think a lot of people realize, because they was cutting off food stamps and all that stuff, they think, oh, it's gonna hurt black people more. No, not really. We're not really on it as much as you think we are. We're not really on it as much. It's hurting a lot of folks, but my problem is it hurts Social Security. We have elderly who live and die on that check, who make it from month to month for a little measly $2,000 a month, that they already don't get this, that, and the third, which I also, sidebar, I think the whole food stamp, the whole system should be changed up anyway.
It definitely should be.
Because it should be really geared more to our elderly than people that, can really go work, but they don't work. So they post up at home, or they have a small back injury and say, oh, my career is done, when you can actually probably change
there are some legitimate.
Go another career. We have people that probably legitimately need it, but then we have folks that really shouldn't be on it, because we have a lot of elderly. I think my mother by herself, yes, my mother has a nest egg, and yes, she gets Social Security, so that's a good thing. Yeah. But at the same time, what if she didn't have money put away, or didn't have stuff? Mm-hmm. She can't eat. Or her and my pop couldn't eat because all they living on is Social Security, and they got to pay all these bills, and then they can't go get food stamps because they say they make too much money. So they'd rather me be poor, have no money, get a measly food stamp, but I still got to pay my bills. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the elderly should be exempt for that. Give them at least $200 on the low end. I know a female with 3 kids who get $1,500. Yeah. That's shenanigans to me. I feel like that should be changed up. It's definitely, that's a sidebar conversation. Yeah. I want to talk about, we have a woman that's running, Kamala Harris. A lot of stuff has come out about her in the recent days since she announced the presidency, and it really based on her when she was court
Attorney General.
Yeah, Attorney General.
Out in California.
Yeah, in California, with her views on just, prison reform and things like that, or just people being locked up and maybe falsely accused, like even police officers not wanting to prosecute officers for a murder or a beating of a unarmed person. Like, to me, that's gonna hurt her a lot. Her previous views, and some of the stances she's been on, especially in the black community, is gonna hurt her a lot.
Especially in a young black community, in the black.
Well, even Latino. Let's say it's black and brown. Let's keep it real. Black and brown community are really gonna look at her funny. Man.
No doubt. Kamala Harris. She's probably the top tier, and right now is the one to beat if the elections were today. Right. However, I have to concede that there are some things that she's going to have to explain. It's kind of, I remember the day that she announced, when you look at Facebook and Twitter, everyone's like, yeah, Camilla, great message rolled out. except a certain segment of
folks
black
like,
awareness
yeah.
in California, in the Oakland community,
yeah.
where it was like, yeah, I don't know, dog.
Shorty,
like
man.
I lived in California where she was prosecuted. In fact, she prosecuted my man.
Yeah.
Let me give you the real Camilla Harris.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
no, I'm telling you, I had some people. I had my California people, my Oakland folks hit me, and when she popped up,
we need to hear more of the Oakland folks, the folks who actually got them, who actually know people who've been in that system when she was around.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna make it a point to actually go speak to some people out there. I'm gonna make it a point to do that because I want to know a little bit more. But I had a few of my friends that I know out there who hit me, and they was like, because I even said, "Man, wow, that's what's up." Mm-hmm. And my boy said, "Nah, TS, take that down." And I was like, "Why?" Right. And they sent me a slew of information.
Right.
And I was like, legitimate information.
Like I saw like Twitter with the blue check mark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was like,
legitimate sources.
Whoa. And I took it down.
Right.
I was like, whoa. I did. He was like, yeah. I was like, okay, I need to learn more. I need to figure out more about what she has going on and what her stance is. Because is she now pandering to her group? Mm. She's a black woman.
Right.
Is she now also pandering to her group to hopefully get elected? Or is she really about the change and being and what she's actually preaching and telling out here?
Yeah, before more sooner than later, being that campaign,
she's gonna have to live up to a lot of that stuff. She's
gonna have to just explain it. She's gonna have to explain it in a much better way, because as long as you have some of these folks in certain parts of of the internet, Twitter, what have you, coming out with these. Here's my personal story of when Camilla was around. Mm-hmm. It's definitely going to dull things. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm a big fan of Kamala. I've yet on the fence, but if the elections were held today, I would seriously look at it.
Right.
However, I have to admit that there are some things that kind of, run me the wrong way.
As it should.
Yeah, that I think that she really, needs to touch on.
I mean, she's gonna have to, man, because one thing, if she doesn't do it herself, when she runs, whoever she's running against, they are going to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think it's better to be out, be forthcoming and out in the open with it and be the first one to bring it up versus having your competitors or someone that you're actually running against
do it.
Right. Like, I would hate for me and you running against each other for something. I know I have this in my past, but I don't want to bring it up and then you bring it up and I have to explain it. Because now you have an upper hand and I'm on the ropes.
What happened to Ralph Northern Virginia?
Yep.
Who knew somebody's going to dig in that yearbook and find out he had blackface on?
See?
Hey.
And that's a sensitive thing right now too, man. I think my first time me being introduced to her, and it's probably sad that I was introduced to her. I was introduced to her by a radio personality. Charlemagne the God.
Word. Okay.
Yeah, because he was at one point just totally bigging her up. I even saw him fall back a tad on bigging her up. Mm. When I noticed that, I think some people also sat down with him and broke down. Hey,
right.
Pump your brakes on her just a little bit.
I'm not saying you shouldn't, but let me give you the other side.
Let me give you another side of the story.
Yeah.
And to me, that's important, man. We have so many young brown and black people going to prison for little penny ante crap, or they didn't do anything.
Right.
Because we also need police reform. Don't get me wrong. I have a lot of cop friends.
No doubt. Yeah.
Know a ton of cop homies. You know what I mean? And I know a few that will also say, we need some better training.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have friends in New York that are police officers. And they know, let's keep it, man, the biggest gang in New York is the police officers. A lot of times, in a lot of places. And it's been that way. Police were built on that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they need a lot of reform, a lot of fresh training. Now, you know what I'm saying? Once again, like I said, I have friends of both. I have friends that are officers, and me being a black man, I've been pulled over for shenanigans for no reason.
Yeah.
It's to a point where we know this and we deal with it. You as a black man, and a black Latino man.
Yeah,
You know
this,
bro.
I suspect I got pulled over one time simply for having a Puerto Rican flag hanging from my car.
See?
From the rear of my mirror.
See?
I was gonna remember. I'm driving. The police officers coming one way. I'm going the other way. And at least here in North Carolina,
You're right.
there's no license plate tag
Nope,
in
not
front of the
in front
car.
of the car. Nope.
All right. So as I continue to think about this, I'm like, oh, wait, there's no reason. And I have my seatbelt on. There's no earthly reason why he should have pulled me over, other than he must have saw that flag.
Right.
I mean, he did his thing. I mean, he didn't find nothing on me, but it was one of those things that
I was pulled over recently because I was driving my work van for my business, and it said my light was out, my tail light, and I was like, "Which light?"
Yeah.
The light that's the little light on your van hatch.
Oh man.
I looked at him. I'll get it fixed. I was like,
Right,
"Okay, I'll get it fixed."
right. In that look.
Didn't ask for my registration.
Uh-huh.
Didn't ask for proof of insurance. Just wanted my ID. To me, that's strike 3.
Yeah.
You pulled me over for a little bum light that makes no sense.
Right.
And you didn't ask for my insurance nor my registration. Just wanted my license.
Did they even look at that when you had to get your car inspected?
No.
See what I'm saying? So it's like if that light is not gonna necessarily make a break when I get my van inspected, why pull me over?
Yeah. And it was weird because it was like, all right, bro, just pull me over. Like, that's cool. Huh, here's my information. And I'm a gun carrier, so here's my information on there.
Right.
And he asked me, "Do you have your own weapon on you currently?" He wouldn't have asked me that if he didn't see it. I said, "Yes, I actually do." I said, "It was in my glove compartment." And he said, "I said, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to get it out of the glove compartment."
Mm-hmm.
He looked at me. I said, "You have my information, but I'm not going to physically go to my glove compartment and remove it. And I'm not giving you permission to move."
No doubt.
You know what I mean? But you have my information. You can run my information, but my weapon will stay where it's currently located.
Right.
And my hands will stay on the steering wheel.
So there's no reason.
There's no reason for you to even. There's no need.
Mm-hmm.
And he understood. He kept it moving. He wanted to get it. He was a little perturbed that I told him no, but it's like, no, I'm not doing it, bro. No. But
I see this movie.
yeah, I've seen this before. As soon as I go and reach for it and you pull yours, then there's some shenanigans. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that. My whole goal is always to go home.
Right.
At the end of the day. So I say that to say this: it needs reform across the board for her to be at a position of power and to be a black woman, because it's already hard enough that you being a woman in that position. Then you a black woman in that position, and you pushing laws and not wanting to do certain things. That's not a good look. It's not a good look.
Yeah.
I believe people, if you do something, you should be prosecuted properly. You should extend the law. You should go through. If there's a but in it.
In fairness,
Right.
She was a prosecutor at that time when. Yeah, I am a member of this party, but what's real is real. At that time, the Democrats have pushed into law some of the harshest.
Yes, they did.
Criminal reform laws to where generations later,
That's why I'm not the biggest fan of the Clintons.
And that came to hurt Hillary Clinton during 2016. That became an issue.
Three
to where
strike laws.
She had to apologize, and her husband too.
Yeah.
There's some people right now still feeling effects.
Bro, there's people still locked up over those from the 90s.
From the 90s, dog. For some of those laws. So, I kind of look at it both ways.
Right.
From a prosecutor standpoint, representing the state,
Right.
she can only push those laws that are written into the books.
I agree.
I get that.
Mm-hmm.
I even take it a step further. And this is me playing devil's advocate, playing both sides of the fence. She's a young, hotshot prosecutor in Cali. She's trying to make her bones, trying to get her name out there. Did she do on the backs of us? I'm not going to go there. That's for another convo. But at the end of the day, now that she's running, who hasn't?
Yeah.
But now at the end of the day, she's running for president now.
Right.
The spotlight's even hotter. and we are in this time hyperactive,
social
media
media,
presence
man.
where
Yeah.
questions will be asked,
Right.
going back many years. So you have to answer for it.
Because social media, man, it's one of those situations. If you get called for something, you gotta go and be a part of it now because the court of public opinion is ready to convict you immediately.
Yeah, there's no trial by jury where somebody go into the back room and they deliberate. Nah.
So, man, what do the Democrats have to do to, one, make sure because I don't know if Trump said he was going to, President Trump said he was going to run.
If he doesn't go to jail before then.
Right.
Yeah.
But if he does,
Mueller has yet to release.
I don't know if I know he said he may, but I don't think he will run. He may run again. He may run. Or his party may say, "Oh, bro, don't do it."
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
So if he does,
he does. Let's assume he does.
let's assume he does.
Strong assumption he will.
Who, what will Democrats have to do to actually win? What will they have to do? What, in your opinion, things will have to happen?
Yeah.
Just your opinion on.
For what it's worth, I think, hope, unity, unicorn, kumbaya, this whole hands, America's better than this type of speech. However, when they go low, when the words of Charlemagne go lower,
right.
whatever, you got to stop punching back, man. We are at this point where, as Democrats, we are ready to fight. We've been through the hope. We've been through the unity. We know America's better than this. We remember the good times. We remember how it was. Yes, remind us, but at the same time, knuckle up because it's time to fight back, and the bad guys are going to do everything in their power to not let the Democrats win. And sometimes you're going to have to get dirty. We cannot pray our way out of this. We cannot sweet talk our name out of this. There are going to be times, and 2020 is a long way to November. We are going to have to get dirty. We are going to have to get dirty like they have. I mean, they've mastered the way of dirty politics. Fortunate, unfortunate, depending on what side of the spectrum you're on, we're going to have to do that.
That's a good take on it, man. That's a darn good take on it, man. I agree in some extent. I'm kind of tired of the dirty politics, but I really have no choice. If it's gonna happen, I mean, especially if you're dealing with him. Yeah. The sad part is you're gonna have to get your knees dirty and your hands and feet dirty, man. You're gonna have to come out kicking and screaming. And I don't think the last election that didn't happen, so it's gonna have to be done, man. I just hope, you know what I mean. One for us, and this is why I say to all viewers, and he said this earlier. To me, more importantly, is your local government.
At the end
I
of the
feel
day,
like that's what we got to be fighting more at.
Yeah.
And even North Carolina, I watch how North Carolina it's been historically red, but it's been bouncing back and forth since I've been here these 10, 11 years.
Purple. It's purple.
It's been purple. Yeah, it's purple right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And depending who's running, it's blue.
Yeah.
So right now, we're not totally red as we used to.
No, and we're not. You're not.
Yeah.
That's a great thing about that too. It's been a mix up. You get a hodgepodge, a blend back and forth. But I think that has been more my focal point over the years was just preach more local government.
Yeah.
Because if you, like you said earlier, if you affect your local, you have to worry about the Congress issues or Senate issues.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where you have senators in place or you have congressmen and women in place where you're like, why are they here? No, they there because you didn't do something. Mm-hmm. You didn't do your part in local wise. So I believe in that more than anything. But president wise, our figurehead, we gotta get back to being feared and respected.
Yeah.
In the world.
Yeah.
Do I travel the world and people look at us as, I got people say, man, I feel bad for you guys. What you mean?
What you mean? I'm supposed to feel bad for you.
Like, what do you mean you feel bad?
I feel bad for you. You don't feel bad for me.
Right. I'm like, all right, cool. You feel bad for us. You know what I mean? But they can only go by what they see. And honestly, what we see is really not the best representation of us as a world power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anything you want to tell the people in on the note? What you got going on? Or any topic you want to bring up?
Yeah. Just just getting back on the local thing. I'm really big on that. Really pay attention to your local politics,
right.
Municipal, your county commissioner races,
right.
Your Congress races. We got a Senate race that's coming up.
Yes, we
that's starting to form right now. Some of the candidates are starting to more or less announce. Pay attention to those, because it doesn't matter from a Democratic standpoint. It doesn't matter who we have for president, as long as they don't have the backing of people who more or less agree with their policies, infrastructure, healthcare, education, Social Security, things like that. We're gonna continue to be stuck where we are right now. With this partisan politics and just this gridlock that we in. Since you brought this up, I think from a personal standpoint, now that I have the opportunity and the microphone in front of me, I have to also say that us people of color, blacks, Latinos, we have to realize our own strength and our own power.
We do.
There is a reason why they've enacted, voter ID laws, why they make it so hard to vote, why they are, redistricting, things like that, because someone up top realized that this demographic, they're young, they're becoming self-aware, and they're voting.
Right.
And depending whose name was on that ballot, they're coming out of numbers.
Yes, they are.
We got to stop them.
But we also got to do better, man. I feel like this also, and that you brought it up. They can only enact those particular rules and laws because we're not doing what we're supposed to do. There's no reason none of us shouldn't have an ID.
No, you're right.
No reason for us to not ever. When I argued with some people online about that, it was like, well, it's hurting the young and old. I said, what old person you know that don't have an ID? What elderly person that you know that do not have a driver's license,
right,
or a state employee identification card? Every older person I know has one. I've been cussed out by older people to make sure when I was growing up. You have your ID,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think with the laws that they've enacted, the first go around, it was very, very restrictive.
Right.
It was very. It was crazy restrictive. Now you can go in there with a college ID and you're pretty much good to go.
Right.
I think
Did they ask you for ID when you went to vote this last time?
No, they were just debating it. The law hasn't now for the upcoming elections, you're going to need some sort of ID, right, and even then, if you go in there, I think with a copy utility bill, you can vote provisional. I may be wrong. Somebody correct me.
Let's not vote for provision.
Please. But what I would say was, you can still
have your ID.
Yeah, you can still vote.
I don't want no ballots to be looked at funny or not counted the correct way. Right. We have way too much ballot fraud and issues for us to be brutal. Like even people that's voting, the ones that vote that can't go to the booth, the mail-in votes. Somebody take these people to the voting place.
The problem that I have with the ID, however, is you got folks in some rural communities where you read about all the time, where the DMV is like an hour away, an hour and a half away. Grandmas ain't drove a car in 5-10 years. Right,
so her license may be suspended or expired, so it's a little hard.
Meanwhile, her nephew works in Durham.
Right.
Comes back home every so often, and that's on the weekend.
I can understand that.
And that's on the weekend. So okay, cool. You can have this voter ID for whatever philosophical reason you have. All right, to the victor go the spoils. But at least make it so that it's easier. Why not have a mobile DMV truck where they go around the little country towns and say, we're going to be parked here for a certain amount of hours. Come get your ID.
It's not a bad idea.
Things like that. And also come to the realization
that's not a bad idea.
That if you're 89 years old, you haven't had an ID for quite a while because, frankly, you didn't need a Social Security direct deposited.
Yeah.
For many years you've been voting with no ID. Your local voting precinct know who you are.
Yeah.
So there's no need. As soon as you walk up.
Right.
Now all of a sudden, you're asking them to get a birth certificate. Dog, they were born in a house somewhere down east.
Yeah, they don't
with no paperwork.
It's none. No
I mean, you know what I'm getting
No,
at?
you're right. No, you're right. You're right. I didn't think about it. I didn't think about it in that manner. You're right.
You know,
God, that's true.
you know, so it's not so much some people are just against voter ID. You know, is a principle just in some of the ways in getting the ID.
Right.
You know, it's those little cases.
You're right. If they could just bring a copy of a utility bill or something like that, if they have it in their name, I think that's.
And real talk, I'm a
Let
real.
me use my debit card, my face on it.
Huh?
Let me use my debit card.
Yeah,
Show my debit card, my
face on
face
it.
on it.
And real talk, if you know, listen, if people are gonna commit a crime, they're not gonna vote. They're gonna rob a bank. They're gonna do something.
They're not wasting their time.
If they're gonna go to jail, they're gonna go to jail for something big.
Yeah,
they're not gonna go wait in line to vote.
Nah, not at all. Why we gonna do that for?
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right. I agree. I mean, you make great sense there, man. I didn't even think about it in
rob
that
a
manner.
bank.
I didn't even think about it in that manner. You make great sense. Wow. You're right. You made good points. Anything you want to get to people? Anything else?
No, man. Just you know, again, with the local issues. Going back to the election, you know, because I am Puerto Rican descent, I think with the situation going on in Puerto Rico and things like that, I've made it a point. I made it a point online and to any candidate who cares to hear about it, and every time I have the opportunity, that we have to once and for all come with a solution to the situation in Puerto Rico. All right. I mean, as some of you may not aware, you know, with Hurricane Maria, it just basically ripped the Band-Aid off the problems that already existed. You know,
Right.
down there.
It's a lot.
Down
It's a
there
lot
in
of
the
problems.
island. You know, right now, the folks in Puerto Rico, they can serve in the military,
Right.
they can vote for president or primary,
Right.
but they cannot vote in a general election.
Wow.
No, they cannot vote in a general election.
So my
They can-
vote,
they can-
my
they can-
vote
they can-
counts in the
they can-
primary,
In the primary, but they cannot vote
but I
for
can't vote
president.
in general. I can't vote for president.
Yet, they can send us off to war. They can tax us.
Wow.
I mean, it's
Wow.
in all, and no matter how you slice this, Puerto Rico is a territory colony of the United States. Puerto Rico, we are the last colony in the world
And they
under the
haven't they
United
been
States
applying
of
for
America.
to be a real they have
To the state,
they've been
right
applying,
now.
and they keep being denied it.
Well, there's a couple of things to that.
I know the debt is bad.
Yeah, the debt is crazy. You know, and that's another conversation.
Man, let me ask you a quick question, man. How many people out there buying up land at this moment?
Buying up lands?
In Puerto Rico.
Outside investors.
Yeah.
Outside investors.
That's what I'm saying.
And folks, who have the riches, but the folks who,
That's what I'm saying. How many outside
people,
investors are actually going in Puerto Rico buying up land at this moment? Because we
They-
know
they-
they can get it for the low.
on the low, there are some. There are some. I don't know.
That's why I feel like it's a bigger play for that.
I don't know exact numbers, but if you're sitting on money right now, why not?
That's why I feel like it's a bigger play in that.
Why not?
Why not go and fix something that we call a part of us, a territory, or whatever? Why isn't it now labeled a actual state? It hasn't been actually.
It's not a state.
It's not even
It's
now.
not. It's not a state.
It's like you said. It is just a territory of the United States. So
But at the end,
because we can go over there without a passport, but they can't come over here.
Oh, they can come over here.
They can't come over here without a
Yeah.
passport.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
It's
perfect.
as far as the travel is concerned,
Okay,
that's
good.
that's not.
I
That's
know
not,
at one time it wasn't able.
Yeah, there's never really been
Okay,
been a
good.
problem for as
That's
a
good.
back and forth is concerned.
That's good.
Like in my case, my mother plans to go down there. I plan to go down there in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. I'm actually planning on
Just
going in
just
April.
with our regular IDs.
Right.
No
Plan on
big
going
deal.
in April.
Yeah.
That's awesome. No, you're right, man. I mean, I think it's a lot of stuff, and you see how it's been kind of slowly pushed under the rug. What's going on? The
It was
issues
big
out there.
rah. Throwing money at charity, throwing money. Mark Anthony, Ricky Martin, Maria, Hamilton went down there to bring attention to that shot.
Fat Joe, he took a lot of planes and
Yeah.
supplies down there.
I mean, it's and just speaking personally, it's nothing worse than to almost see your mother's tear as she talks about how Puerto Rico was back in the day.
Right.
I wasn't born there. My Spanish is not perfect. but it's something, you know, especially for those of us who are born here, something that's in you.
Right, right.
Something that, you know, more or less shapes who you are, your frame of thinking, what you eat, the music,
Right.
you know.
That's like our friend Miguel. He talked
Yeah,
about
shout out to
that.
Miguel. Yeah,
He
right.
talked about it a lot. How,
Right.
you know, how Puerto Rico was not what it used to be. And last time he went home, check on his father after the hurricane and stuff like that, he came back and he kind of cried a little bit. He was like, man, it's just, there's so much, it is so much destruction, so much, it's not where it should be. And, you know, Miguel's in his 50s, mid 50s.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, he was there at a time when Puerto Rico
was humming along.
Yeah.
It wasn't perfect, but it was,
Mm-hmm.
it was, you know, it was humming along. You know, there's a whole lot of structural things that needs to be handled. You know, it just, at the end of the day, all it comes down to Puerto Rico's relationship to the United States.
Right.
You know, where the United States has to step in, has to more or less sanction a vote. You know, let's go ahead and end this. Statehood, yes or no? And ask the people of Puerto Rico that question.
Right.
Because what's been happening is, yes, there's been a whole lot of votes that's been taking place, but they just been more or less resolutions. Just, this is our wish, this is our desire.
Right.
But because it's not official and not with the backing of the United States, you know, it just means it's just a wish, like a resolution is. There, you know, there's a proposal right now, I forget which committee in Congress, where and the money actually been allocated under Obama to once and for all settle the issue. Statehood, yes or no? No confusion of, do you want to stay Commonwealth, do you want to be independent? You know, just
statehood. Let's
yes
go.
or no. Let's go.
Yeah. I think that'll one help with the money issues that Puerto Rico is currently having, because once they consider state, their debt roll into what we have, and then we can go working into cleaning and fixing whatever.
And it's just a
that they currently
fairness,
have.
and it's just a fairness issue. It's just fairness. I mean, you know, from a taxing standpoint, from a, you know, militaristic standpoint, you know, we, you know, some of us, you know, some Puerto Ricans served in the military honorably. From a cultural standpoint, you know, we've contributed so much to this country, to where, the desire is there, you know, why not?
I think, hopefully, man, I think we get someone in office that actually will see that and start making provisions to that. That honestly should be up there to one of the things that they should do. I've always wondered why Puerto Rico didn't have its statehood. I often wonder, like, so many presidents have been here. Where has the vote? What are we doing? What's the issue? What's the holdup? And that's why I felt like it's a bigger play involved when it comes to that, money wise. You know what I mean? Where certain people can go, especially businesses, power brokers, go in, buying up land, turning it to resorts and stuff like that. Yeah. And I felt like that was a bigger play involved. Now there could be my conspiracy theory Jones. You know what I mean? Yeah. Conspiracy theories. But I just want to see that change some. You know what I mean? I definitely agree. I think that it was shocked to me why it isn't, and to hear how you articulate that. I didn't realize they only voted in the primary. They voted in the general election.
That's it. By the time the primary does go to Puerto Rico, it's an afterthought, because all the candidates are basically allocated the number of delegates needed to win at the convention, at the DNC convention. So at that point, you just voted just to be voted.
Well, that's shenanigans, man. That's shenanigans.
Yeah, man. So this is one of those things.
But the shenanigans are high in politics, man. When you running.
Yeah.
When you running.
When I'm running?
Yeah.
Man,
I know you're gonna run for some form of election.
The way my bank account's set up, man. The way the bank account's set up, bro.
Nothing local? You didn't think about anything local? Government-wise?
I've thought about it, but same thing, and that's another thing from a micro local standpoint. I've thought about it. I consider, but at the end of the day, it doesn't pay the bills. It really doesn't. You run for city council. Don't quote. Well, let's take the General Assembly. I'll start with that. General Assembly, I think they only pay like $13.5. You know, and the way the system is set up here, the General Assembly, they consider it part-time legislator. In reality, once you're elected, to the General Assembly, you're a full-time job.
Right.
It's a full-time job. But you're only there for, you're only making like 13 something an hour. I mean, not 13.8 a year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's with per diem, things like that. Mm-hmm. I'm married with 2 young boys with a mortgage over my head.
Yeah.
I can't give what I'm doing now for that. As much as I love positive, as much as I love, serving the folks, and I think I have something to contribute, I cannot put my family through that.
Right.
I always make this joke. If you look at some of the biography at some of the folks in the General Assembly, most of the folks that you see in there are attorneys, business owners, retirees. Work for the
people that already have money,
who already got money,
income coming in,
got nothing to do with this summerman, or small town funeral directors.
Wow.
Think about it. If you're from a small town,
yeah,
you know who the funeral director is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So he can do that. He can do that. When it's time for when it's time to rush off to Roddy, he can assign the funeral jobs, funeral tasks off to their assistant.
You're right.
You know what I mean? So those are for the most part for some of the folks that you see in the Johnson. Small time funeral director. Check it out, man. Check it out.
I am actually, you're right.
You go to small towns, you get them small time funeral director, small time dealership guy.
Yeah,
they can
dealership guy.
Dealership guy. Yeah,
right.
they can
I
do
just
that.
bought a car from Sam the other day. Now he's running for.
Now he's doing it. Now he's running.
Yeah, you're right.
Everybody know that the small time funeral guy.
Wow,
dealership dude.
That's funny, man.
Because yeah. Because don't get me wrong, and that's another thing. This perception that a whole lot of us who are in our mid careers with family, things what have you, we would love to do this. We would actually love to, make the big jump into politics. It's just that realistically, it's not there. It's not there for us. And there are some folks who I know who have done it. Our age.
Right.
You see them, rah, the youngest such and such, you'll do great. Don't they end up serving 2 terms? And you know why? Secretly, you ask them, don't pay nothing. My wife had to go pick up another gig, or I could,
we got
daycare.
We got this.
Daycare. I couldn't hack it.
Yeah.
I'm a young attorney. Mm-hmm. Just got out of grad school. I can't do that.
No.
Same thing with city council.
Trying to get some stuff under my belt, and you're right. For city council, a lot of the guys are.
And that's a full-time gig. You cannot convince me, especially in a big city like ours, that's a full-time job.
Yeah. So. Yeah. You think about how many city council meetings and different things that the city council actually does.
It's a subcommittee you got to attend, the outside meetings you have to go to, you got to talk to.
And you got to come downtown because you got to pass. Somebody wants money, you got to approve this type of thing.
Yeah. So that's and I guess that's something to think about for any now that the Democrats have more or less added more seats to the General Assembly.
Nice.
That's something to at least protect Cooper's veto. That's something to think about. It's something to tackle that I know some of us have discussed in some circles to really talk about. Trying to make it so that
Roy Cooper's having a hard time right now, buddy.
Actually, he's looking better. He's looking better from a standpoint of at least I got more Democrats to protect me if something come across my desk.
They blocking everything this man want to do.
Everything. I mean, and I think that will continue. I think that will continue now.
I don't understand this whole party. These 2 parties constantly fighting, where it doesn't look like the betterment is for the people. It's like it's a bunch of cat fighting for their own special interests, but what's lost in it is the everyday man that's out here and woman that's out here surviving.
Yeah, and
North Carolina has a lot of way too many taxes and laws and stuff that don't make any sense, man. Like we had Hollywood. Think about it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We had that. Entertainment-wise, they left, went to Atlanta because they were taxed. Because of the entertainment tax.
Yeah,
they went up.
They eliminated the some kind of grant that if you wanted to do a show in, I don't know, High Point, North Carolina, if you wanted to do a show in High Point, movie in High Point, the state of North Carolina would actually give you a grant depending on how how much you put in, how many employees do you employ,
Yeah, from the state,
certain
areas
criteria
that you use, right?
They completely, they completely wipe that out to where now, anytime you turn on the TV, you always see that Georgia peach at the end of the show because everybody started going down south.
Yep.
Everybody started going to South Carolina.
Yeah.
There was something I read about 2 weeks ago. They were supposed to do a show in Wilmington. It was actually based in Wilmington. This series or this movie, what have you. They ended up doing it in South Carolina. It's still the movie and series. I don't know why. It's still centered around Wilmington and the stories behind Wilmington, but they opted to do it in South Carolina because the grants that they took away.
And that's crazy, man. I mean, think about even us, state tax wise. The more money we make, we're growing in our positions where we currently work at. So the more money we make, more tax we have to go out. We understand that. Even just looking at just everyday food tax, everything keeps going upward. But we're not making more money, dude.
No.
And we are lucky that our personal jobs are doing well, and we have significant others that also have pretty decent jobs that do well. We're not like everyone else, man.
At the end of the day, something I always believe, something my mom always told me. At the end of the day, never go to bed hungry.
Yes.
And I got knock on wood.
Yep. And we're back.
yeah.
We're back. So like I was saying before, man, I wanted to get into politics and whatnot. But I think, like also what you said earlier, the financial aspect of it is a little not where, I would like it to be. 1, 2, I think my calling more is with being with the people, sitting down with folks like yourself, like I was saying earlier, speaking to other people, and I mean, not just Democrats, but also speaking with Republicans, speaking with independent folks, speaking with, actually planning to speak with the current sheriff. You know what I'm saying? Current elected sheriff.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, speaking with people like that, let's see what's going on in the streets, because of my viewership and the people that actually follow me are the common person. I don't want to lose that aspect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because once you get into politics, you're going to lose that aspect some. You got to think more broad, and you got to play within the political realm. You're
going to want to lose it. You're gonna want to lose, and I say that, and I say it from respect. For the most part, I think I'm still the same person I was then. I'm still a little bit rough around the edges. I get it. My language not exactly, on par with the best of them and stuff like that. But I've always maintained. I think my independent way of thinking that sometimes I'm gonna talk shit about my own party. When needs be. Doesn't mean I don't like my party any less of it. There's sometimes we have to hold the mirror up to to what's really going on. We can't always be talking points and posing things like that.
Right. I feel like if you can't air out your own personal dirty laundry within your party, you can't be realistic to what's going on. Like, you gotta sometimes air out your own. You gotta, even if it's within the party and you're just talking not on camera within your people, you gotta tell them, you full of shit. It's not good. What you're doing, I don't like the way you're going. Can you try a different path? Because people get jaded sometimes. And you think everything you're doing is perfect, you're gonna continue moving that around, and a lot of that shit ain't. And a lot of times, it's too many yes men, even in politics. It's too much of that.
Yeah. I see that happen a lot where, if you catch someone privately, perfect examples. I sometimes hear, "Oh man, John, I'm glad you posted what you posted. That's real. Da 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 da." All right, great. Why don't you like my post? Oh well, because I'm in this certain position. Da 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 da. I was like, I appreciate the comment. I appreciate the salute, what have you. But you cannot like my post because of the position you play. I'm in the position too, and I'm still putting it out there.
Right.
And there's a whole lot of it.
That's that too much playing within the party lines, man.
Playing within the lines, or you catch them in the corner. Yeah, you're right. They're right. That we need to do more.
But say that publicly, man.
Say that publicly. You're actually in a better position than most folks. Actually do it. You're good. You're in a safe spot. For the most part, everybody likes you. Maybe if you push a little bit, you might actually, make something happen of it.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I think politically, across the board, I think a change needs to really happen. And I think a change of guard definitely has to happen. There's too many old people. It's way too many old people. Because think about it, bro. And I know it's funny, but
yeah, I mean.
it's the same stuff over and over.
Right.
Change doesn't happen until everything changes.
Right.
Down to the look and common feel of it. When you look at a picture of Congress and a picture of like everyone in Congress currently, and a picture of everyone sitting in the Senate House currently, and you can go back from years to years. It almost looks the same. And you'll see a few sprinkled now. See a lot more sprinkled in. And I'm not talking about color. I'm talking about youth.
Right.
But it's still a bunch of old men and women running the show. And that means that's the same rhetoric being passed down from generation to generation. And another quick one, Senate seats are held too damn long.
Yeah.
You should not have a lifetime fucking position. No position that's public should have a lifetime position. Down to what is it? What is it, man? Man, I'm drawing a blank right quick. When they pick up my guy.
Supreme Court?
Yeah, Supreme Court justice.
Lifetime. Yep.
They should not hold a lifetime position, man. You should be scared that you're gonna get voted out.
Sharp as a knife.
Yup. You should never. Anytime you hold a position where you can be like, shit, I just continue doing what I do. You know what I mean?
Right.
You never know how it feels to be us, worried that you can lose your job at any time.
Well, there's a couple of things that as far as Senate goes, everybody else, every 6 years they get they have to,
right?
They're up for election. Certainly there are some seats that are more protected than others.
Yeah, there's a bunch of seats that's super protected now.
Super protected where you're not gonna,
because man, it's a couple senators that's been senators for a long time, bro.
For a while. House men, the same thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, too, it kind of falls on us, and this is something I alluded to earlier, that at least from a Democratic standpoint, I think we are at the crossroads from people of color, where we are finally, some of us are finally getting a grasp of how much power we really have,
right?
Due to some of the crazy stuff that they're throwing at us from a voter ID standpoint, from just plain old making it hard for us to vote.
Right.
We just first we just need to realize the power that we hold. Black folks, Latinos. I was reading something the other day that by 2020, Latinos are going to be the largest group, voters, in the country, even surpassing blacks, I think, by a few percentage points here and there. But first, we need to realize the strength and the power, that we have. Now, as far as trying to get some of these old folks out of there, yeah, some need
There's a couple old people need to go, bro.
Power is, they say power is seductive, and you're not going to let them go unless you challenge them. Shout out to folks like Alexandria Ocasio, where no one gave her a chance. She was going up against a very respected, very well liked for the most part. Crowley, I believe his name was. Joe Crowley in New York, in the Bronx, Queens section. All she had was a belief and a couple of people who believed in her words, and she ended up winning the whole thing. Now she's in there unapologetically herself, to the point where even some members of her own party are like, yo, listen, you need to calm down, because you're shaking the tree a little bit too rough. It's a certain criteria, certain things that that's done in Congress, and she's like, you know what? No, I'm just changing the whole thing. And I think it's all every generation. I don't know, but we just need to really come into this mindset that if you want something really, just like in real life, if you want something really, really bad,
right,
you're gonna have to go for it. It's not gonna be easy, no doubt. Some of these folks, you go at them, 3-4 times, you may never defeat them, but at least get yourself involved.
Right.
Get yourself in the game.
Right.
Build yourself the structure around you. Get the party behind you. Get involved in your local party, whatever that may be.
You're right. Especially if you want to see change. You want to see change, you got to go act on it.
Especially you want to see change. Yeah. I mean,
is not enough to say, you know what, I think you'd be a great guy. You should do it. Nah, bruh, you should do it. You should do it. I mean, listen, I may never run for office, but I think one of the primary reasons I'm doing this is to hopefully help another man or woman, young kid, whatever, with a chip on their shoulder. Like, I sometimes feel like I have, with a chip on the shoulder. So you know what? Lucky for you, you're in a better position than me. You can actually do this. Let's do it.
I'm with you on that. I can't wait to see this new crop. I think kids, the younger generation, a lot of I know it's being jaded because of social media, but I think a lot of the younger generation is also eyes are open, and they're starting to see, and they're starting to galvanize and come together and really push what this could be, of their view of America and being in politics, or just helping.
Look how quick with Kamala Harris again.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, when she came out, oh wow, great, Kamala Harris is just perfect, what have you. Sunset was like, nah, here it is.
You're right.
Nothing against her, all respect.
But here's some more information for you.
Yeah. So they're there. It's it's there, and I for one appreciate the the information that they're pulling up where others won't.
Well, you're right. Well, brother, we could talk forever because I know how passionate we are, especially about this topic, and I love talking with you. We definitely need to start building more.
Yeah.
Off camera.
Yeah.
There's been a bunch of times we were supposed to go get beers and we haven't got.
We haven't, man.
So we definitely got to go.
Real life gets in the way.
It does.
Real life gets in the way. Yeah.
But hey guys, I like to thank John.
My guys, appreciate you, man. Let's do this again to make this happen.
We definitely will. This is another episode of the Sit Down. Tune in next week, man. I got more I want to talk with this guy off camera too, man, but we appreciate you all. All right, tune in. Thank you for watching us all the previous episodes. So continue watching. It's your boy Tall Shon. I'm out.